Hello, everyone, and thank you for coming to Deb Chanel's 48 World, where we do soap opera reviews this evening. I'm coming back, just got off work, or really just got home from work, and I thought I would catch you all up with yesterday's episode of The Young and the Restless that aired on July the 11th, 2016 at 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, my time zone. So, basically, let's see. Did I do a summary with this? I guess I didn't. No, I did. The summary they gave us for yesterday's episode, like I said, that aired on Monday, um, July 11th, 2016 at 3 o'clock p.m. for The Young and the Restless. We had Nikki is over to see Victoria at Newman Enterprises and telling her they not getting divorced, meaning her and her father. She's telling Victoria her plan of action that she wants to pursue to get Victor out of jail. Okay. Then we have a scene that I came in on where Jack is looking at Phyllis and he's telling her she's beautiful. They both played hooky from work yesterday and they were just at an amusement park of some sorts and they were just really acting like kids, footloose and fancy free. So that was a good well time spent for Jack. But of course, Phyllis is in her own little um demographics of thinking in a sense. She really wants to be with his brother. Jack is always out there, forever would be the writers would have him in the abyss. Like he can't put two and two together when stuff is not smelling right, not looking right, not hearing right. You would think Jack or the writers would let Jack have a clue. Okay. But he's so much caught into what Hillary is going through and how she has thrown herself on him. He's not really seeing the forest for the trees when it comes to Phyllis and his brother. So he's very not transparent. He's a little doofus running around there. And that's bad how Jack could be so intelligently smart and yet lack common sense. Just so like a dunce on the sort. So anyway, like I said, Jack gets Phyllis back at his office and he wants to, you know, get it on with her in a sense because he can't seem to get her alone anywhere else. I don't understand why the writers just got Phyllis playing over him just like a little, puppy dog. He's pining for her and she ain't giving up no goodies, but yet she's married to Jack. So I'm like, maybe I need to contact the writers to tell Laura Bell or whatever she is to get on the stick her and Danny Romalotti, I forget his real name. Um, that's his actor name, but I forget what his real name is. He's supposed to be helping her write these storylines. And I'm like, can y'all just hire somebody or consult with me? I would be freely. I would do it for free for a couple of weeks just to see with some of my ideas take off and catapult the ratings for Young and the Restless with some of the scenes I would put out. Believable, heartfelt scenes, and downright go get them type of attitude when you need to get a joker together. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. We got these, can't get on the actors too much because they just get given the script they are supposed to play, and they do a damn good job with playing the stupid roles that they give them to enact out. In other words, whoo, especially Jack, he get all his money and credits, I tell you. But anyway, like I said, him and Jack or Jack and Phyllis are out playing hooky. They make it back to the office. Somehow Jack is looking at her real romantically. She's not feeling it, you know what I'm saying? Because she just look at Jack as somebody just helpless and she just have to help him out, and get her little freak on romance in the romance department with her brother, his younger brother, Billy. But anyway, he goes on to make his moves on her after they come back. He's letting her know ain't nobody in the office. They won't be disturbed. And she's just looking, her whole facial expression is just like looking like she's just so uncomfortable. and that she don't want him to touch her, like she just want to cringe or something. I'm like, Phyllis, give it up. Okay, you can no longer handle the two men. You don't want to be with you don't want to be with Jack. Go on to be with Phyllis. Be the slut of Genoa City. Call it a day and just let have, in a sense. Okay. So we leave that situation where we have Jill. She pops up back in town, to check on her investment, as well as probably the Chancellor Industry wing they just had donated maybe a couple of months ago. And then she wants to see if Billy towing the line. So anyway, she comes with all these luggages, and just pops up. Billy comes downstairs. He sees his mom there. He's questioning why the hell she here, why she ain't back in Chicago with Colin, her husband, and all this stuff. But she pretty much catches him up real quick, fast in a hurry, and say, "I'm just here checking on you." Okay. But then we go back to that incident with Jack and Phyllis when they're trying to get their little groove on, and she's almost like submitting to him touching her. Victoria walks in on them, which they're not really butt naked or anything, so it ain't too much to hide. But Jack to zip up Phyllis's dress, because that's pretty much as far as they got. And she goes in to enlist Phyllis's help with trying to overturn Victor's time in prison, uh, due to him being in jail because of his family and all the testimony that they had got up against him. The law and the jury that was presiding over his case, the judge and jury, they pretty much sentenced him to a 10-year sentence. But Nikki done found this new life. She wants to forgive Victor for all his sins and all this other stuff he did prior to her getting kidnapped. And then with him coming to her rescue, as well as Phyllis' rescue, um, because she was up there on her own in a sense. So it really wasn't, well, it was a rescue because he had really kidnapped. Both of them had taken Phyllis hostage since she was at the cabin. They had so eloquently got up there and partaked of. But anyway, I digress. I can understand where Phyllis is coming from. Just because Victor made this heroic attempt to get Nikki or rescue Nikki from the what do you call it? The holder Ian's and his antics. You know, he wasn't going there really for Phyllis because he didn't even know Phyllis was going to be there. So I could see that situation playing out. And Phyllis wants him to do that time because he was very instrumental in getting her assaulted by some man that Victor had set her up to be done that way. So I could see her, but Jack was like all in Victoria's corner trying to say, well, if it weren't for Victor, you and Nikki still would have been up there, or worse, dead. So he kind of sees, and he can definitely understand why Victoria is making such a plea for her father to get out of jail since the stuff that he did do. But then, Victor's one of them men. He could have orchestrated this whole thing to work in his favor. Him and Ian could be conspiring with one another. You just don't know with Victor. He has deep pockets, deep resources, and he can just play up something that he wants to happen, and it turns out in his favor, if you get my drill. But anyway, enough said about that situation. We go to commercial, we come back. We have Michael and Lauren are at the club enjoying themselves, enjoying the atmosphere, and catching up on each day's events that him and Lauren had, went through during their day's course. Of course, they're talking about Ian and Adam and Victor and this and that and the comings and goings, the trial, the case, how it's going to end up, possibly, Lawrence pretty much said, I believe in you. I believe you're going to get Adam off if he deserves to be off. Victor's going to stay where he needs to stay. She's just really just being very supportive of her husband. And then we have Nikki showing up out the blue because she wants to talk with Michael about revamping or pretty much rescinding her plea to want to get divorced. She wants to get a hold of that to make sure it's null and void. But of course, Michael interjects with her and tell her, hey, uh, no, he be right there. I saw him. And then that's my daughter bothering me again once again. Okay, she bothered me early prior to going to work. She still bothering me when I'm after work. Okay, I understand. But anyway, where I was going with this. Yeah, she pulled Michael from his wife at the athletic club, and she was in a sidebar with him saying she wants to, Victor and her wants to stay together. They don't want a divorce. Is there any way you can pull my case record off of the judge's desk? And Michael just going playing her for a fool. He already had those records already signed off, or whatever, and signed off with a signature from the judge. It's nothing for a judge to go back and rescind his offer if somebody don't want to get divorced, because everybody should stay married that can stay married, and be living peacefully and coexisting with one another, of course. And he was just telling her, "Are you sure you want to do this? Because you have very good reasons, valid reasons to get rid of Victor. And you say he's going to change. I don't think so. I don't think it's possible. Victor's Victor. So, with him telling her that she's still, pining for her husband, and, just in awe of what he had did for her, as far as saving her from Ian's clutches or whatnot. And like I said, it could just be a setup, an elaborate hoax of a setup to get Victor out of jail and get them to help him get out of jail by this heroicness he did. Anyway. We go back to, well, we ain't really went nowhere, but Jill was forcing or telling Billy when she was at his house, or their house, I should say, that she wanted to go out and he was going to take her out to dinner. So of course, like I said in past episodes, they always congregate at the athletic club. Some drinking is going on, but that's pretty much it. Not really a lot of eating. So I don't know this fictitious type General City club they got going on. I mean, really? But anyway, it is what it is. But she goes in, surprises her sister Lauren. Billy's in tow. Lauren gives him a hug as well, and she invites both Billy and her sister to join her and Michael for a late dinner and stuff. And of course they accept, but like I said, Michael's still sidebarring with Nikki about getting Victor off and her dissolving her petition to get divorced from Victor. That's not going to be warranted. And then he just went on to give her the papers. Say, do what you will with them, okay? They're your papers. And she goes and hugs Michael real heartfelt, like, he did the best thing by not, getting the judge to sign or not sign. Who knows at this point where it really went down, but we know she has the original papers that's, saying she is a free woman, but she can tear them up and they're just almost like null and void, because you have to send those papers back with her signature. Has to be filed in the court of law. If you ain't got that, it's they just waste money going to divorce lawyer attorneys to help them, which is always Michael. Michael always handling everybody in Genoa City, so he pretty much knows what to do and what not to do to get them what they want. Um, and at this time, both Nikki and Victor feel they can reconcile. Go figure, right? But anyway, we're through with that situation. We have Jill tells Billy to get dressed because, he's taking her out. But at this time, they're already at the athletic club. I just missed that from the first going in comments. Then we have Jack is trying to be intimate with Phyllis. But Phyllis is still not wanting to be sexual with Jack. Jack is taking off Phyllis's clothes. And like I said, that's when she feels very uncomfortable with him doing that and very awkward. And, of course, like I said previously, Victoria runs in the office, impromptu, and, wants Phyllis to help her out with trying to get her dad out of jail because her mother implored her to do so as well. So I don't know how that's going to be how it's going to affect Victor's coming out or not. Because right now, Phil is saying, hell no. Hell to the no. Okay? It's not going to happen. So, and then Jack was pretty much, like he didn't understand why she was coming, you know, on a very judgmental state when Victor did in a hindsight. And because she was another woman there being held hostage by the crazy ass Ian, of course he was going to do what he had to do for her as well as, securing Nikki safety as well. So we leave that situation. We go to Nikki. Nikki's trying to convince Victoria to get on board with friend, Victor. But, like I said, prior to getting to this particular point in the story or the episode, Victoria didn't want to hear that mess. And then her mother coaxed her into uh, thinking on the same lines because he was a very big factor of her not being dead or left alone in the woods to fend for herself. Because, Ian had left her there. You know what I'm saying? Because Nikki don't have no good survival skills, not in just living, period. She's always upheld by Victor. Victor, owns her in a sense. She don't own her own self. She don't want to own her own self no more. So we've been giving up totally on Nikki. Ever doing the right thing and staying free of Victor, clear and without, remorse. But we did that situation. We go back to Adam and Victor in the hospital. They still laughing and talking with each other until, Victor says something real side pockety and it hits below the belt because Adam really don't want to take any responsibility in coming back working for his dad. He, because he don't wants to work on his dad's thumb. It's more so he will be a yes man. Adam will have to approve and have everything go through Victor before, anything can be approved under Newman Enterprises. So it's like, you just want me as your lapdog, Dad. You don't want me as a true player in the company. And he's like, whatever. And then Adam was saying about his stepsister that Vicky can definitely handle it. She's definitely more acquainted with Newman Enterprises than I am, just because I'm far more maybe academically smarter than her, but no, she's been holding her own and she needs to keep that title and continue to run in, the industry or the organization until you come out. And he's like, she too emotional. Then he said, y'all want you there because you're like me. You don't go on emotions. You do this, and this. And that's like your old pops in a sense. And he just felt that this was so a horrendous statement that he would make. Like he don't have any feelings for anybody. He's just cold hearted, cutthroat and all that. And he's not trying to live his life like that anymore. So he really got angry with his dad about even insinuating that for him to go back to that state of thinking and being, and he's not going to do it. So he pretty much told his dad to fuck off. He can kiss his ass. He finna leave. He don't care what happens to his business. And Victor hollered as he was going out the door, you will be back. And more than likely, if there's a chance of Adam going to jail and Victor not releasing very good documents that can definitely turn the cops off of his trail and probably look for someone else. Like I said, Victor had did so much dirt, planted so much material to put Adam in jail to where it's like, man, go and get him what he wants. You can think of a better plan. Or hell, leave Genoa City, Wisconsin altogether. And then you really wouldn't be seen as a threat in Victor's eyes, I guess. Who knows what's going on in Victor's head? I don't know about to know, but Victor. But anyway, Adam walks out the hospital and he just tells his dad to screw him. He ain't got no time for his foolishness, what he's talking about. And I was him for him, even though I know Adam gonna bring his biscuit butt back and saying he don't have a choice. You got me locked under a barrel and I can't, exercise free will thinking at this time because you got me. Okay, so lock me up as well because I know I'm gonna be doing your bidding to the day you die. But anyway, we don't know what decision he's going to make. Because like I said, he just walked out on his dad and told him to kiss his ass pretty much. Okay. But then we go to Nick. And goes over to the club to talk with Michael. I've already given you a preview over that. how Michael felt about the situation, and he pretty much gave her the papers for her to do whatever she wanted to do with those divorce papers. He didn't give a shit no more. He really did. Um, Gio shows up, like I said, at the club. Her and her sister Lauren, they sit and have dinner together, or it appears that they're going to try to do that. But it seems like they're trying to do more matchmaking with Victoria and Billy than it is of trying to save the company. You know what I mean? So then it goes into the whole scenario. Nikki done convinced Victoria to be on board with getting her dad out of jail. She's saying the biggest piece is trying to get Phyllis on board because Phyllis was, besides Nikki's testimony, Phyllis has drove the nail in the coffin that made it stick, pretty much of how Victor had did her in a past encounter. And she said it'd be better, Victoria, if you go talk to Phyllis than myself, because she'll already know, you know, I'm just looking out for my best interest and not hers and this, that, and the other. But it is what it is. Then we go to see Dr. Gates goes over to see Victor after he done pretty much confessed his love back to Nikki. Somehow the doctor got an epiphany that Victor's only going to love one woman in this lifetime and probably the next, and that's Nikki. Okay, it's not her. She just fell for the okie doke. Got her little rocks, popped open a couple of times, and that was it. That was all. And she shouldn't expect any more because, like the warden had told her, don't get involved with criminals that's locked up. They'll tell and say anything to get you to recognize them for the physical or try to use you to get them out of jail. And Victor did both beautifully. Okay, it just is what it is. So Dr. Gates go on and tell Victor she forgive him, that, he should connect back with his family because family does mean everything to him, even though he was trying to say at the first part of their meeting each other and trying to get to know each other that, their family didn't love him and this, that he didn't love his family and all this kind of crap. So that's all I had for The Young and the Restless that aired yesterday, Monday, July 11th, 2016, 3 o'clock my time, Eastern Standard Time. And I had taped The Young and the Restless for today's episode, but while I was preparing dinner for the family, prior to me going to work, Obama a speech he needed to give to address the police shootings of, I think it was 12 officers, 5 of them died, 7 got injured or something like that in Dallas, Texas. And he was addressing the whole nation about that and what he saw and what he felt we should be doing as citizens of our global world or states that involves, being in the U.S. And I think it may have took out 30 minutes of that paid programming that I had wanted to look at and then come and give y'all my take on it. So I'll just wait until tomorrow. That's why I just went on and gave y'all this. And then hopefully the whole show got to air. But with me recording it, like I said, I don't really think I've got more than maybe 30 minutes at the most of today's episode that aired for Tuesday, July 12th. Okay, guys, but partake of my video. Leave me comments because I definitely love to talk to people about the different stories and the story plot lines and all of that good things. Love talking about. I'm finna go write the writers, and when I do get some downtime, I'm definitely gonna be sending me a letter to Bell and Phillips about this catastrophe of a storylines they're giving us to believe, or just digest at the time. But that's all I got, y'all. Y'all, good blessings and good night and have a restful sleep. Bye bye. Take care.